Real estate practice, fair housing, interactive component. Landlord unconsciously favoring a tenant due to their race or gender. Question 500. An older divorced woman in Los Angeles owns one rental unit in a condominium complex near her free and clear home with no mortgage. Because this female landlord lives alone on a fixed monthly income, she fears for her safety and financial security. The landlord is worried about finding tenants who will pay their rent on time, unlike the previous tenant who she had to evict after they stopped paying their rent for more than a year. The landlord struggles to pay the mortgage on her rental unit along with the property taxes, homeowners insurance, and homeowners association (WA) payments each month. In fact, the landlord came very close to defaulting on her mortgage on the rental unit after receiving no rent for a full year. She had to borrow from her pension funds in order to keep making the mortgage, property tax, insurance, and WA payments. The landlord placed an ad in a local newspaper about the rental unit becoming available. There were just 2 responses, which included an unmarried engineer who was born in Tokyo, Japan 20 years earlier, and a young African-American family who were in the process of moving from Michigan to Los Angeles to be closer to other family members. The landlord asked both tenant applicants to fill out a detailed financial application and submit a recent copy of their credit report with all 3 credit bureaus reporting. She also asked for a cover letter and a photo of themselves and any other family members who may be living with them in the unit. The engineer had a very solid 780 mid-FICO credit score, a perfect tenant payment history, and earned over $100,000 per year. He also met with the landlord in person to walk through the unit and was quite charming and witty in person. The applicants from Michigan, however, could not see the condominium unit in person because they did not have time to fly out to see the unit in person, partly since they were busy packing. Yet, they loved the appearance of the unit as well as the prime location near their other family members, so they were willing to lease the unit without seeing it. The African-American couple also had a very high 800 mid-FICO credit score, a solid tenant payment history, and the 2 working parents earned over $125,000 per year. The Michigan couple mailed in their completed lease application along with their cover letter and a photo of the beautiful couple with a small young daughter as requested. The landlord later decided on the engineer from Japan primarily because there was only 1 person applying to live in her rental unit as compared to the 3 family members from Michigan. The family from Michigan was so upset that they lost out to another tenant applicant partly after learning that they had higher credit scores and income. Did the landlord do anything wrong in this situation? A. No. B. Yes, she favored an unmarried applicant over a young family. C. Yes, she asked for a photo of the African-American tenant applicants from Michigan. D. No, the landlord had 2 qualified tenant applicants and chose the one which might be the easiest to work with as a tenant. A. No. B. Yes, she favored an unmarried applicant over a young family. C. Yes, she asked for a photo of the African-American tenant applicants from Michigan. D. No, the landlord had 2 qualified tenant applicants and chose the one which might be the easiest to work with as a tenant. There are 2 possible implicit or explicit bias risks here for the landlord. First, she chose an unmarried male over a young family, which violates familial status protections, a protected class from the Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988. Second, a photo request and a letter could bring out discrimination claims because the landlord could clearly see that the prospects from Michigan were of African American descent even though she never met them in person. Second, a photo request and a letter could bring out discrimination claims because the landlord could clearly see that the prospects from Michigan were of African American descent even though she never met them in person.